If you're good at one thing, apply it to everything. You can turn anything into an art form.
Working with and knowing Jeff, he clearly mapped out a path that I could recognize and resonate with and follow, which was carrying a sense of justice and morality and responsibility in all of his projects. He was first and foremost a Mi'kmaq filmmaker who had such a clear voice, but for him, carrying that sense of community with him everywhere he went and never compromising his morals and telling his stories. It was wild when I was cast in Rhymes for Young Ghouls because I hadn't realized he lived on my reserve, that he lived in my community with his mom there, that we were like minutes away from each other. They were doing this international search in the US and in Canada to find Ayla, and I happened to be right like within kilometers of Jeff. Meeting him, I was intimidated as hell because he's a very intimidating person, and I think he was talking about his son, Miles, where he was talking about writing Rhymes for Young Ghouls and how there's a lot of conversations about parenthood in it, where you see Joseph and Ayla, where Joseph has gone to prison, so he hasn't had a chance to raise his daughter Ayla, and he is giving to her in the only way he knows how, which is him sacrificing himself. And Jeff had mentioned that to me and showed me a picture of his son Miles, who's now 12, and I remember making a joke saying, "Native babies are just the cutest," and he didn't laugh, he didn't engage at all. I was like, oh man, this guy's intense. But I read for it, and I had no idea if I was any good or not until I got a call back saying, okay, we're gonna do another audition with you, and then we're gonna do another audition because Jeff really wants you, but some funders don't see you as Ayla. Some funders don't think that you are right for the role, or I don't know what it was exactly, but I ended up doing 4 or 5 auditions to be able to convince them, and Jeff fought for me.
That's the last day of the month. We get to take from his collections too. I think we're gonna need more help.
Jeff sat me down and said, this project is going to become as much yours as it is mine. And it was the first time I felt that sense of collaboration and really loving and understanding your collaborators and being able to come together and have that sense of magic transcend.
Well,
One of the aspects of Jeff's work is his use of language and preserving the Mi'kmaq language forever, because when you capture it, it has its whole other life, and it can be shown generations from now how we would sound, how the language is supposed to be spoken. In Rhymes for Young Ghouls, we worked with Catherine, who plays my grandmother in it, her Mi'kmaq is like Shakespearean. She was a residential school survivor.
Okay, I go away. Who go me skills? What can me whistle deluidin? No go me.
We shot Rhymes for Young Ghouls in 2012. That was the same year, I believe, that the Truth and Reconciliation Commission had come to Canada, or within that time. And there was an awareness, vaguely, but it felt like there wasn't a lot of acknowledgement or wanting to have conversations about what happened at residential schools. And making a residential school revenge movie was challenging, it was triggering, it was vindicating, it was cathartic, it was everything in between. And there's a lot of people I know in this industry who won't put themselves on the line like that in order to get ahead, but I think Jeff couldn't. I think he had to do what was right in his gut and move from that place, and I think his career suffered for it. I don't know if he achieved all of the mainstream success that he could have had and should have had, but I also know that movie came out during its time for a reason, because it's taken on so many lives of its own. I'll be in random places and there's other projects that I think I might be recognized by, ones that are maybe more mainstream, And it'll always come back around. It'll always surprise me when somebody says, I saw Rhymes for Young Ghouls back in the day and it inspired me to pursue this industry, or it inspired me to tell our stories, or it resonated so much and it told my family story. And I'm trusting that it came out when it was supposed to, and the rest of the world just needs to catch up on the works of Jeff Barnaby.